Here we go. All right, so welcome everybody to class 5 of the module on international transportation and e-commerce. And here is our teacher, Mauricio Sebastiani.
All right, thank you so much for that introduction, Simon. Always a pleasure to be here. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our class today. Um, Today, we are on a very important day because we are concluding the material for this module. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we're going to talk today, but the message that I would like to tell you is that, transportation, international transportation and e-commerce, obviously, we could spend like days and months talking about this, but just like we were discussing a little bit earlier, the idea, since this is an English course about logistics, the idea is to give you this view of how things work, the keywords, the processes, and by doing that, we will give you the knowledge for you to search for more information, to acquire knowledge by yourself. And this is definitely one of the objectives and goals of this course. So today we will look into the last 3 topics that regards international transportation and commerce, and we will start our class reviewing some of the keywords from last class. So, Simon, if you please, bring it to us.
Sure. E-commerce logistics, order fulfillment, e-logistics, digital technologies, leveraging, shipping costs, forward stocking location, distribution centers, fulfillment centers, turnaround time, centralized hubs, logistics channel, global e-commerce logistics, logistics ecosystem.
Thank you very much, Simon. And I think we use a lot of these words with our interview with Ivan. And I think if you take a look at it, all the keywords from all the classes in this module, you will have this big picture. And that's what we focus on, to give you more confidence in not to know everything about logistics or e-commerce, but for you to give you confidence to carry on a conversation with knowing that you have information to share with these people, your partners, your bosses, your C-level of companies, and obviously to be motivated and search for more of these topics as you need it, right? So last class, we briefly talked about distribution channels, okay? And today we will discuss deeper on the key distribution channels, the ones that are most used and also most common, not only on e-commerce, but in general international logistics as well, okay? So as we talked last class, distribution channel refers to a network that involves levels of all the participants of supply chain engaged in functions like transportation, receiving, handling, warehousing, last mile delivery, information sharing, which is very important, all directed to reach the end customer. Okay, so the idea of distribution channels is for you to have this kind of picture here. And there is no right or wrong. There is the best channel for your goals. What if you are a retailer, if you're e-commerce, but the idea here, you can see you have a very short and straightforward distribution channel: producer, retailer, consumer. And here we inserted the wholesaler, which is a broader distribution center, which has more products, and then you can spread it to retailers. And then finally, on the third level, We have not only we have agents involved, international logistics, and also we have the e-commerce. Okay, you can have e-commerce related directly to a retailer, or you can have only e-commerce distribution channels, as we will see further on. Okay, and there are many levels, and this is for you to have an idea how they play the role in logistics. Okay, so pay attention to this. Okay, these are the key distribution channels that are used throughout the world in logistics. So we can have a direct to customer channel. Okay, so that's pretty much straightforward. This channel involves shipping products directly from manufacturer or retailer to the end customer. Okay, it bypasses all intermediaries, and it's a simpler distribution channel, but depends on the products that you work. That might be the best scenario for you. Also, we already discussed in this course third-party logistics, okay? 3PL. So this channel provides outsourced logistics services, okay? Pay attention to this word, outsourced, okay? When you outsource a operation, you are transferring that responsibility to another provider. And you can outsource warehousing, you can outsource inventory management, you can outsource transportation in general, okay? Also, distribution channels can be used, as we've seen, with more than one of these solutions, okay? Also, we have dark stores, which is a very common solution for e-commerce business, okay? Dark stores involves a retail outlets or distribution centers. They're not open to the public, and they are used exclusively for fulfilling online orders, okay? These facilities are designed to resemble traditional stores or warehouses, but they operate solely to support e-commerce and delivery services. Okay, I think we've seen dark kitchens arise during pandemic, right? So dark stores are pretty much the same concept, where you have your whole warehouse basically just to fulfill e-commerce orders. And marketplace fulfillment, okay? What's the difference? You say, but teacher, you can have e-commerce attached to dark stores, you can have e-commerce attached to third-party logistics and also, but the marketplace fulfillment is a distribution channel that is 100% based on e-commerce platforms such as Amazon, eBay, Mercado Livre, Shopee, Shein, and offer fulfillment services to sellers, okay? Because they're not only selling products to the end customer, but they are also handling the products from these sellers, okay? They store on an advanced logistics position their products, and so these products are closer to the end customer, okay? So marketplace fulfillment, it's basically selling through e-commerce platform channels. Okay, this is another very common way of the distribution channel, which is called drop shipping. I don't know if you're familiar with this model, but this has gained more attention after the pandemic and the rise of e-commerce, because basically what you do is that the retailer, they don't keep their product, they don't keep the products in their stock. They have a seller, and when the customer place an order for those products, the retailer then purchases the item from a third-party company, and has it shipped directly to the customer, okay? Usually this happens with products they have a long life cycle, or products that sometimes because you can do this with e-commerce with smaller orders, but it's more common when you have like big orders. And why do the retailer need to stock these products if they can place the order directly to their seller, and the seller will ship the products directly to the end customer? Okay, drop shipping is very common nowadays. Another one that is very famous as well, especially with e-commerce, is omni-channel retailing. Okay, omni-channel is an approach that integrate various sales channels. Okay, so it's related to sales channels, such as physical stores, online stores, and mobile apps, to provide a unified shopping experience to your customers. Because, for example, maybe you need some products and you're away from your computer. Okay, you just have a mobile app that you can place an order and you'll be okay. Or you can just run down the store a few blocks away from your house and get the product if you need it right away. So the omni-channel is related to sales channels, okay, not logistics strategies, but they are related to points of sale that the customer can get the products as they pleased. Okay. All right, another very important topic, it's called reverse logistics, because, and especially since we're talking about e-commerce, you have to be prepared to handle returns and exchanges. For example, you know, there are laws that the customers, if they're not happy with the product, they will return with a full reimbursement of their money. Or if they're buying clothes and they want to exchange the color, the size. So reverse logistics is a channel that, obviously depending on what the product that you handle, but reverse logistics is really attached to the distribution channels that you use to sell it to your customers, the product, because you have to be prepared to bring it back. Okay, and in logistics, and especially in e-commerce, reverse logistics is a whole business by itself. Okay, have you ever thought of what Amazon or Mercado Livre they do with all the products that are returned from their customers? They have to do kind of like a reverse engineering of their sales process, and either use this because depending on what relation they have with the seller, they might have to stay with this product, or they can send it back to the seller and get some refund or get some credit on the next purchase. And a lot of e-commerce businesses, what they do is, since returns, since they sell a lot, obviously the percentage of returns are higher as well. So usually e-commerce, especially in Europe and United States, what they do is they auction. I don't know if you're familiar with this term. They auction lots of products, and they can auction and sell these products to end customers again, or they can send these products to other companies that will resell it to customers as well. So it's a way that they found to create this, to have this this reverse logistics process with a full supply chain. Okay, how do you write that word? Auction. There you go. All right. So moving forward, we also have last mile delivery, okay, which is a critical channel for every company, and also to customer satisfaction. That's what we've been seeing throughout this course and this module, which often involves local courier services, postal services, or specialized delivery companies that handle the direct handover, okay, the handover to the customer. Okay, so one of the key characteristics of e-commerce sales or orders is that generally they are smaller size. They are 1-2 boxes, not heavier than maybe 40 kilos. Okay, so the customers, they buy often, more often, but their orders are smaller. So as we get closer to the customer, this last mile delivery becomes even more important, because also we will see later on today that we have to handle urban areas, rural areas. We have to handle many constraints geographically or supply chain wise, that we have to be prepared to face it if we would like to get into the e-commerce business. Okay, so distribution channels, I think you have a good idea now of what are the options that companies in e-commerce companies have to spread out their network, their area, and try to reach the customer satisfaction and the service levels that they desire. Okay, and we cannot forget about international courier services. International courier services have been in this business for many years, okay, such as FedEx, DHL, UPS, and they are, before e-commerce came to place, international couriers were basically faster way to import products, even documents, but always related to small packages or smaller amount of money involved as well, because we will see that couriers have an advantage with customs procedures. Okay, and we will see why this model of logistics and services have expanded so much with e-commerce, and obviously after the pandemic, because they have a fit to the type of orders that customers online usually get. But let's get deep into courier services, international courier services. They are specialized logistics and delivery companies that transport packages, documents, and freight across international borders. These services provide expedited and reliable shipping options for businesses and individuals, ensuring that items reach their destination quickly and safely. Okay, so, and then you can ask me, but teacher, what's the difference between a freight forwarder and a courier service? Well, what are the services that a courier typically include in their portfolio, okay, in their services offered to the customer? So they have, first of all, door-to-door delivery. Okay, so items are picked from the seller and sent directly to the buyer. Okay, door-to-door delivery. This is also a very important term. Also, tracking and tracing, okay, which are pretty much the same idea of real-time information, allowing senders and receivers to monitor the status and the location of their shipment. Also, they have speed and reliability. Okay, so expedited shipping options such as express or overnight delivery are available with a focus on timely and secure delivery. So these services are often way back before e-commerce. That's why they became so popular nowadays, because these e-commerce companies are using this channel to sell and deliver their products. Obviously, since they are an outsourced company that will offer their services to sellers and buyers, they have a cost to that. So because of the nature of these orders, which are smaller and with a standard price, kind of like a reference amount. So that's why we have a perfect fit to speed and reliability on using courier services. Also, they provide insurance coverage to protect against loss or damage during transit, but obviously that's not 100% guaranteed, because with courier services, you have to read the small lines, okay? This is very important, because the difference between, one of the difference between a courier service and a freight forwarder is that the freight forwarder is kind of like an agent, like an advisor, kind of like a consultant for international transportation. Since they offer specialized services, as we've seen throughout this course, but when we are talking about smaller volume, smaller size products, obviously that can fit more into the courier services rather than the freight forwarder. But if you also have, for example, a freight forwarder that handle your large shipments, they are pretty much okay to do smaller packages or even documents, as they already handle that as well, okay? And that's a key topic, okay? Customs clearance, okay? So pay attention to this. The courier services, they offer assistance with navigating customs regulations. Assistance, ensuring proper documentation on their side, and facilitating the clearance process, okay? But why they do that is because they are using some of advantages that most customs offer in the countries, which are a tariff for minimum amount orders or shipments, okay? And this become a very recent topic, even in Brazil, that customs are putting a big eye into this type of tariff or this category of international shipping, because since the idea of e-commerce are smaller packages, smaller orders, and as we are seeing the growth of e-commerce, most of these packages are slipping through the controls of customs, mainly because they are focusing on larger shipments, they're focusing on drugs, forfeited goods, and then they just, obviously, they have a crew, they have procedures regarding this smaller orders, this smaller processes, the importation process, and they are looking with the magnifying glass, because A lot of countries, for example, in Brazil, the maximum rate that you can get a customs clearance on couriers, for example, is $50, right? In United States, it's $800. So you can predict the shift of the buying let's say, process for customers. Now that they look at a website in China or in India, and they can order a product lower than $800 that will be delivered in their doorstep with little or less tax, importation taxes. And if you go to a retailer store that also import these goods, they have to go through the general customs clearance channels, and then they will have the taxes and all the regulations added to the price of these products. Okay, so this is a very key topic when we talk about prices on e-commerce. So this is for you to have an idea. This is a list of the largest courier service based on net income in 2022, okay? Not based on the volume that they handle, but based on their net income. And we can see UPS is the first leading one, DHL, second place, FedEx, and then we have all these other, that some of them are even freight forwarders like Schenker and SF Express. And so these are pretty much the three main players in this business, okay? And they also have the postal services, which also they can include, for example, FedEx. They deliver products through postal services as well in United States, for example, because they have partnerships to reach different locations, and they can also use the postal services to in their distribution channel as well. So looking a little bit into the future and the increase of couriers market share in since 2021, okay? So this is the global courier market. So it's expected to handle about $553 million by 2028. And also you can see here, it's divided by continents: Asia, South America, Middle East, Europe, and North America. And we can see a pretty steady growth, even with all these e-commerce companies are getting to more and more into this international transportation business, as we will see further on. Also, in the right here, let me point out here, okay? In the right here, we have the percentage of inbound and outbound based used by couriers, and then we can say here importation and exportation, okay? So in by 2028, there is we expect to have in China, for example, more than double their volume in courier services, so just like Germany and US as well, okay? So this is a very useful distribution channel. It has its costs, but since we are discussing about smaller packages, smaller amounts, the cost kind of keeps pretty much in an equilibrium. But as you can see, this is a business that is going to grow much, much faster. And then you can ask me, but why? What's the most important or the biggest advantage that couriers have in their business? It's because they use most of the time, air freight, right? So if you look at FedEx and UPS, they have millions of customers. So that's how they started their air freight business, because if you have millions of customers ordering on a daily basis, you can fill up your full airplane on specific locations to basically use that on your dedicated transportation. So that's why we see FedEx and UPS and DHL so often buying airplanes, because they have a lot of customers that are in need not of their products, but in need of their transportation services. And this is what is becoming, the e-commerce platforms are becoming pretty much the same thing, because the customers, they don't want only the transportation, they want their products. But since they have a huge amount of customers, they can also buy planes and use as the same strategy as couriers as well. But as we discussed, that has a very important impact on customs regulations, because agents, they look at the internet as well, and they see these numbers, and they see all the data that is going through their system, and they are now taking a look that the global e-commerce has significantly influenced customs tariffs by increasing revenue, because just by keeping that tariff on the minimum amount already raised the revenue of the customs. So it's important for them to keep this channel flowing, okay? But don't forget, they have to keep the balance between internal market and external markets. So customs nowadays, more and more often, are updating their policies. They are investing in simplification of procedures, and also they are looking into their trade agreements based on this layer of products that are going directly through their ports. Okay, that and with the e-commerce, with the growth of e-commerce, customs tariffs will likely evolve further, shaping international trade and dynamics. Because in the beginning of the e-commerce, customs, they didn't know how to create specific tariffs for these products. So now, with all the experience, especially after the pandemic, they're creating levels of tariffs based on this specific channel of importation. So e-commerce has complicated, like I said, the valuation and classification of goods for customs purposes. This has led to calls for more standardized and transparent valuation methods. Remember last class that we talked about customs regulations, how they are changing their processes of valuation. For example, okay, I'm buying an iPhone from China, and this same iPhone in the United States, let's say, it costs $1,000, but in China it costs $700. So this $700, any person can buy a product based on the customs law, that they can bring this product from China at the price as $700. But when this product arrives at the customs, they'll say, oh, okay, great, you pay $700, but here is $1,000. So you will pay taxes based on this valuation amount. And also many countries have had to update their tariff policies to keep pace with the growth of e-commerce. And now we will see more that these tariffs and processes, they can lead to increased costs and delays. As we can see nowadays in Brazil with the whole taxation of the products under $50. So that can affect consumer satisfaction and the overall growth of e-commerce. So if you ask me, so e-commerce is going to be just like that forever? No, I think that as we will go a little bit further, few more years, even with the growth of e-commerce, we will see these tariffs more and more getting into these products that are coming outside. Okay, for example, I was studying for this class the other day, and I looked at in the Senate, in United States Senate, they already have a bill, or they already started negotiations with the government to lower this $800 layer to $7. Okay, so they what if that passes? If that bill passes in the Senate, Americans will only buy keychains through e-commerce, right? So that's protectionism, that's government policies, and that will be definitely be affecting e-commerce in the future all over the world. Okay. All right. So now, since we already discussed the careers and the channels, let's look into last mile logistics. Okay. So obviously, last mile logistics is a whole chapter by itself. We could be talking like months and months just about strategies on last mile, routing, and using different vehicles and all that. But the idea here is to cover the terms, the overview, and the processes that are related to last mile logistics on e-commerce. Okay, so last mile delivery refers to the final stage of the shipping process. Okay, so don't give me a last mile of 5,000 kilometers. Okay, last mile, it's always related to if you have shipments that have to go 5,000 kilometers to reach the end customer, okay, that's not a last mile. That's just delivery logistics, okay? So just be careful with that term. This phase is crucial, obviously, in e-commerce and logistics, as it directly impacts customer satisfaction and delivery speed. Obviously, since we discussed that how e-commerce orders are, how they are structured in size and amount, mainly you have air shipments, which you can cover the whole world in 24 hours, right? So, but it doesn't mean that we cannot, that we will use only air shipments for e-commerce. We can see through the distribution channel of major players that the air shipment is the percentage and the coverage is different based on the strategy of the company. But last mile also involves navigating urban and rural environments, managing delivery times, and handling challenges such as traffic congestion, airport congestions, and many other situations that since e-commerce have these characteristics of this fast-paced delivery, the more and more that you stretch this distribution channel, the thinner it gets. So as we will see the rise of last mile and e-commerce, we will see that this logistics is getting thinner, and it can also create unbalances even with customer satisfaction, efficiency, and cost for delivering their products. Okay, so managing last mile operations requires a sharp eye on all these factors, such as high costs, okay? Remember, time is money. So be careful with that balance, because it doesn't mean that if you hired a logistics service for that amount of money, it doesn't mean that that's what you're gonna pay for it at the end of the process. Okay, logistics complexity as well, right? So we have to look with the critical eye through the distribution channel and the strategy of the company on selling products and service levels to their customers, because we are seeing now 15-minute deliveries, especially in the United States. Okay, it's not a international delivery per se, because you will see that probably this product, you will go to a website advertising that this product is a Chinese product or is coming from China, but it's probably in a dark store a few blocks away from your home. Okay. Also, we have to keep an eye on delivery speeds, delivery failures as the supply chain grows thinner, scalability, which is very important related to e-commerce, okay? Because you say, okay, I sell to United States on my e-commerce, and now I'd like to sell it to Brazil or China. Okay, you have to be prepared to scale the whole logistics process. Customer expectations, security and theft, okay? This is also an important role. Environmental impact, and we will see further on how companies are dealing with that. Technology integration, because today data collecting has become a critical issue, because with data collecting, you can predict the purchasing habits of the customers. So you can, okay, so you can look at the supply chain and you see, hey, this region has this this idea that these customers in this area, for example, if you are in Canada, obviously they will be buying a lot of boots and jackets and coats, right, for the cold. So by using this data collection, they can predict the customer behavior, and they can forward this inventory closer to the end consumer, okay? And regulatory compliance. Okay, so last mile logistics also involves on different solutions on how you can handle problems that we didn't have before, okay? So cross-docking is a logistics method that involves transferring products directly from inbound transportation to outbound transportation with minimal or no storage time between. This process streamlines the supply chain by quickly sorting and consolidating shipments, allowing for faster delivery to customers while reducing inventory holding costs. Okay, on this picture here, we can see the freight companies. We can see 4 trucks, and we can see, for example, the red truck will have orders to all these customers. Also, the truck number 2, 3, and 4. So instead of making these trucks, which are larger trucks, that as they get as their products are getting delivered, they start having a lot of free space, and free space also costs money. So the cross-docking process is a very interesting and intelligent way to sort these orders from larger trucks and route them in last mile hubs. Okay, so cross-docking used to be just like a dock. One truck gets to the side, another truck gets on the other side, and they just handle these orders from one side to another. But today we have last mile hubs with automation, and they can sort all these boxes into different routes, different areas, okay? And they can get smaller vehicles, vehicles or other forms of transportation to reach the end customers fast. Okay, another solution that Last Mile developed was to use a variety of transportation methods. In last mile logistics is essential for optimizing efficiency and meeting customer needs. So different methods such as vans, bicycles, drones, hub lockers. You know what hub lockers are? Lockers, okay, where you have at the gym when you go and put your bag there and you go do your exercise and come back, that's a locker. So you have customers that they for a specific amount of money or given a specific lead time, they are not it's okay for them to go to the post office a couple blocks away from their houses, and there is this locker from Amazon or FedEx where they place your order there. And you go there, they give you an app, they give you a password, and you go there and you unlock and you open that locker and you get your order. Okay? So this is also very different ways to deliver customer orders. And also autonomous vehicles, as we've seen in the past years, it's becoming more and more integrated. Obviously, there are a lot of situations or areas that they cannot cover, but having a variety of transportation methods allows companies to adapt to different environments, reduce lead times, lower costs, and also customers' expectations. Okay, by leveraging multiple modes of transportation, businesses can navigate challenges like traffic congestion, limited access areas. For example, you have like urban areas where big trucks, they cannot get in during a specific time of the day. So with this flexibility, they can not only enhance their service levels, but also support sustainability by minimizing pollution, emissions, gas emissions, reducing carbon footprints. That's the term that we use today on their delivery process. Okay, and as we said before, offering customers other ways to receive their products in a convenient way. Okay, so here are some types of last mile logistics solutions. So we have bikes. This guy is delivering Amazon orders. Okay, we have drones. More and more often they are passing laws regarding orders on how you can regulate drone activity in cities. We also have autonomous vehicles. the lockers and pickup hubs, the ones that I explained it. And we have this dude, right? So this is very typical of last mile solutions, because since customers, they're more focused on getting their packages on the given time. They don't care if it's going to be a huge Amazon van or a FedEx van that will deliver their products. So a lot of e-commerces and last mile companies are more and more using this dude, right? Where they can just fill their cars with orders and go to a specific target area delivering these products. Okay? So this is a big picture, okay? And I think this is one of the most important pictures for last mile, because last mile delivery or transportation as itself has become, in the past 10 years, a value added service, okay? It adds value to the products that you're buying. So if you have two products, same price, one gives you free shipping in 3 days, and the other one gives you same day delivery for $3. Okay, you look and say, hey, for $3, I can get my product by today or maybe tomorrow. So you are using the logistics services as to add value to your products. So here you have the point of origin, okay, where the products are stored mainly, and you have your customers. And here you can see examples of a omni-channel and last mile services, where you can get the products from the distribution center in all these different ways of transportation, okay? And here I brought PRG, which is the source that I got this from. They give you strategic, operational, and tactical hints on how to use the best distribution channel on your deliveries. Okay? So, and then there is Amazon. So this is a topic that we're gonna leave here for you as a complement material, because it's impossible to talk about last mile, and it's impossible to talk about e-commerce without talking about Amazon. So I put here 3 slides, very specific, talking about specifically about how Amazon became this huge leader in e-commerce. Okay, a lot of people say today that the customers, they want Amazon-like services and they demand from the logistics companies or e-commerce businesses that they want Amazon-like service levels, but they don't know that Amazon has operated for 20 years with no profit. Okay, so it took them 20 years of creating the best formula to make money out of this e-commerce. Okay, so these are very important hints and informations regarding how Amazon is so powerful today, and why everybody wants to compete with their service levels, and why it's very difficult to get that kind of a service level throughout regular logistics processes. Okay, so extra material for you. And now we get to the keywords of class number 5. Simon, if you please.
Sure, here we go. Third-party logistics, dark stores, marketplace fulfillment, drop shipping, omni-channel retailing, door-to-door delivery, logistics complexity, scalability, customer expectations, cross-docking, autonomous vehicles, hub lockers, route planning, sortation center.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And if you get to work tomorrow and you use 5 of these keywords in your business with your boss, you will get a big smile on his face. Okay? So don't forget about this. All right. So now we get to our in-class practice. And today we brought you a very practical dialogue between a customer and a courier service provider. So Laura, please, could you be the customer? And Bruna, would you mind being the courier service provider?
Good morning. I received my package today, and I noticed that the import tax charge was much higher than I expected. Can you help me with this?
Good morning. I'm sorry to hear about the unexpected charge. Could you please provide me with your tracking number so I can look into your shipment details?
Sure. The tracking number is XIZ123. I was really surprised by the high import tax.
I'll check the details for you. I reviewed your shipment and I see that the import tax was indeed applied by local customs authorities.
Yes, but it's way more than I've ever paid before. Can't you do something about it?
I understand your frustration. However, while our service includes customs brokerage, which means we handle the necessary paperwork and clear your package through customs, we don't have control over the local import taxes imposed by the customs authorities.
But I've used older couriers before, and I've never had to pay this much.
Different shipments can be subject to different tax rates based on their contents, origin, and value. It's also possible that customs regulations and rates have changed. I recommend contacting your local customs office directly for more information.
All right.
This is really frustrating. I didn't expect such a high fee.
I completely understand. Import taxes can sometimes be surprising. To avoid this in the future, you might want to check the local customs regulations or consult a customs expert before placing international orders. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
No, that's all. I guess I will have to contact customs myself. Thanks for explaining.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I couldn't do more regarding the tax. But if you have any other questions or need assistance with future shipments, please don't hesitate to reach out.
All right. So did you see the different type of customer relations when we were talking about a freight forwarder and a courier service? So this is basically one of the disadvantages of courier services. They have general processes and they don't get into the business of checking or dealing with customs related to the tariffs that they impose on these products. Okay, So this is a very common situation that we encounter nowadays. All right. So with our class interaction, we bring you a in-class activity, the brainstorming dialogue, which is something that we've seen before in other modules. And what we would like you to do is to work in pairs. So Bruna and Laura, you are a courier logistics analysts, both of you. And the customer called complaining about a package that hasn't been delivered yet. Okay? Consider the lead time is overdue. Okay, so he's got a point, right? So your job, both of you, is to create a list of checkpoints where the package might have been misplaced. All right, remember the exercise that we've done in the past where you have to picture the whole logistics process of, in this case, a courier service, bringing products from Beijing, China, to Campinas, Brazil, okay? They're not gonna have directly a plane leaving Beijing and arriving in Campinas to deliver your goods. They'll probably use other channels to reach you. So you, with your knowledge on the big picture of e-commerce and distribution channels, would like you to talk and see what are checkpoints that you could look before calling the customer or to find out what happened with their product. So the package description, okay? It's a laptop and a battery. That's it. It's one box, 23 kilos, and the box size is 50 centimeters by 50 and by 50. And you're using the courier distribution channel. Okay, so let's get to work.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Bruna. Do you have any idea where is
Um,
this package?
yeah, I believe so, because
Mm,
there is a battery involved. It is considered dangerous
mm,
good, and it might have been stopped by customs for inspection, maybe. But the teacher said the package doesn't go straight from China to Brazil, of course.
mm.
It might have
Bruna,
stopped.
let me just make sure, just to help you your understand. You are doing that's what we expect, okay? We are looking into possible places or possible situations that this package might have been misplaced, okay? So
Okay.
that's a possibility. So that should be on your checklist, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Bruna,
Sure.
I think
Go ahead.
I think that maybe in the hub, in the last mile, the truck delivered the package in the hub, and after the package didn't goes to the
Yeah.
destination. Yes, it is possible too.
Of course, last mile. I was thinking that during transit, when the plane stops, for example, from my daily work, when we purchase items from China by courier,
Mm-hmm.
it stops in the United States for clearance process. Then it goes to Brazil. I would say maybe in the United States, when they change airplanes, maybe the package was left behind.
Good idea.
But yeah, last mile can be also an option. Maybe it was, as I was talking before, customs selected the package to be inspected because of the product description, because of the battery included, which is considered a kind of dangerous product, so they might check.
Warehouse, it is not involved because all the package, it is in courier already. So let's forget about the warehouse. N- Nothing wrong in warehouse deliver. No,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
true.
after.
So let's try to think
I think
in topics, what are
I
checklists?
I think your thought it makes sense more to me, Bruna. Yes,
The
what you
custom
told as in your work when the load came, then they will organize, sort it out, and someone could misplace it in the custom area.
maybe I would say that.
Yes, you said it. Yes.
But as a checklist, do you think there's something else we must think about? The package goes from China to a place where they're going to do the customs clearance because it's another country. So they will enter that package there. There will be a process. Then
Look,
from there,
look, Bruna, you are courier logistics analysis, and the customer called complaining about a package that hasn't been delivered yet. So it have a delay. It have a delay. Consider the lead time is overdue. What means overdue? Overdue. What means overdue?
It's for example, today is July 16th. It was the last expected date you might have your package, and it didn't get to you. So tomorrow is too late.
It's late. Yes, that's
It's
correct,
late.
Bruna.
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
correct.
it is
Oh my
late.
God, Bruna, I might lose my job here, okay?
Yes, she's perfect.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
Okay,
I
girls,
am her fan.
good.
Thank you.
The idea, that's the idea, okay? Because it doesn't matter what are the things that you talked here. The idea is for you to get comfortable with, imagine if Bruna was from United States and Laura had this mission of doing this job with speaking in English. So the idea is to get more comfortable with the problem and negotiating what are the possible options that you might encounter. So you said there is battery, so you might have you have a hazardous material. So that can with hazardous material you can have problems in customs, you can have problems with airports. So that's a good checkpoint, okay? Another one that you used was regarded the customs tariffs, okay? So for example, you are shipping a product, and even though it took like maybe 2 or 3 days for this product to arrive in your country, that country might have passed a law during this period, and then your product will start going through customs verification because it's the new law. So customs tariffs and customs regulations, another very good one, okay? Air hubs Air hubs around the world, that's also a very good positive point, okay? Because doesn't mean that a product that is allowed in Brazil, it will be allowed for transit in other countries, okay? So you
Yeah.
might have documentation problems. You didn't say anything about wrong
Yes.
documents, okay? So documentation problem is something that you should keep an eye on it. But air hubs, it's good. Last mile hubs mistakenly switch vehicles. Also, Laura said that. Okay. Also, you didn't. Also, another thing that we cover in this course, you could have had label misplacement. Okay, you could have another label somewhere in the process. They relabel the package, and that package could be in another customer or in another route. Okay, so labeling.
Right.
And the
Yes.
last one, check with the doorman. Because there is this guy in your apartment, in your building, that he misplaced with
Mm,
your order.
Hi.
So it might be
yes.
your neighbor could have got
Mhm.
a laptop and he didn't know where it come from. So if you don't, so that could be also a good strategy. Check with the doorman.
Good.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. That's it. So that's it for today. And thank you so much. And for the final announcements, Simon, it's for you.
Thanks, Mauricio. People, good work. That was really nice to follow. I don't work in the field, but of course, during the class preparation, Mauricio told me some of the checkpoints that should be considered in the discussion. And I was enjoying here every time that you mentioned one of them. And that was really nice to see the exercise working out in practice. Very good. So look, just to remind you that next class on Thursday, we have that typical routine of the last class of the module. So we will start with a brief review of the material in this module. And then you will do the test, the progress check. Then we'll correct it together. And then we'll talk about it, have a little bit of feedback for you. And that's it. That'll be the end of our C module. Great job so far, guys. 3 down and 1 to go.
That's right. Thank you so much, girls. And if you have any final questions, I'm available. You can reach me through WhatsApp in the group. And other than that, thank you so much. Have a great week, and I'll see you on Thursday.
Thank
Yes.
you.
All right.
See you on
Ciao,
Thursday.
Bruna.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bruna become a best friend. Yes.
Good.
I told her that it was God that put us together in this class, in the same,
Yeah, she
same
did.
team.
We're friends on Instagram now.
Very
Yes,
good.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
guys. Have a nice day
Have a good
tomorrow.
day.
See you
See you on
Thursday.
Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.
Um,